Welcome, Starfinders, to Starfinder Week. My name is Cody. This is Taking20, a channel about all things role-playing games. And today we're continuing our coverage of Starfinder's core races by taking a closer look at the Lashunta, Starfinder's beautiful and psychic race. So, I hope you guys are ready. Let's get started. Okay guys, so before we jump in and talk about the Lashunta, I want to give a big thank you to my sponsor here for Starfinder Week, Miniature Market. If you've never checked out Miniature Market before, I highly recommend that you do. I've been shopping with Miniature Market for a few years now, and they just continue to impress me with how much they discount their games and just how big their selection is. Board games, tabletop miniatures, trading card games, role-playing games. Miniature Market is the place to go if you're a gamer like me. And guys, I am serious about the discounts. They are significant. And of course, if you guys want to snag some serious discounts on the full Starfinder lined up, be sure to check out the link down in the description below. It'll take you guys right to everything Starfinder, and it'll let Miniature Market know that I sent you over. So trust me, just go check them out and thank me later, okay? Okay guys, so let's take a look at the Lashunta. The Lashunta hail from the second planet in the Pack Worlds, Castrovel, a hot and humid, intensely wild, jungle-filled planet. So needless to say, the Lashuntas are used to surviving under tough conditions. And under this tough environment, the Lashunta eventually evolved adaptive genetics that actually allow their children to develop into one of two different subspecies, a choice that they make during puberty. The first is the tall, intellectual Damaya, who make up most of the race's political leaders. And the second is the shorter but more burly Korasha, who serve as the race's warriors and explorers. Now, though the two subspecies vary from one another, they still bear the same genetics, meaning that they can still intermarry and have children together. The Lashunta have mastered the ability to help their children determine which of the two subspecies that they'll grow into once they've reached puberty through a psychic ritual and by activating certain epigenetics and shutting down others. And while some Lashunta communities might have the child take an aptitude test to try and sway them one way or another, most Lashunta firmly believe that it is the child's sole choice to make. And though this choice used to be highly correlated to gender, creating almost two entirely different subspecies between male and female Lashunta, modern Lashunta culture has led the gender balance between the two subspecies to be quite balanced. Lashunta's connection with magic and development of magic portals has given them the chance to explore other worlds long before space travel was actually invented. And because of this, they've developed a particularly close bond with societies on Akaton. Lashunta society is quite varied, almost as much as humans, and is typically made up of large city-states on Castrovel, which often operate as meritocracies. And because of the makeup of the two subspecies, Lashunta hold both education and military service in high regards. Castrovel is a dangerous ecosystem, and with no overarching government, settlements value warriors that can protect them from the vast number of jungle monsters. Okay guys, so let's jump into the numbers. The Lashunta are unique in the fact that the two subspecies actually get two different sets of ability bonuses and penalties, but both still share all of their racial traits and both get the same racial hit point bonus, which is 4. The Damaya get a bonus to both charisma and intelligence and take their -2 penalty to constitution. Whereas the Korasha also get a bonus to charisma, but they get their other bonus to strength and take their penalty to wisdom. Both subspecies get the following racial traits. The first is Lashunta magic. All Lashunta can cast Daze and Psychokinetic Hand at will and get Detect Thoughts once per day. The next is limited telepathy. So like the Shirin, Lashunta can communicate telepathically with creatures within 30 feet. And finally, student, which lets a Lashunta add a +2 bonus to any 2 skills of their choice, which might be one of the best racial traits in the game. As far as what classes synergize well with the Lashunta, let's start with the Damaya. So 3 classes really stand out with the Damaya. the Technomancer, the Envoy, and the Mechanic. The Technomancer is the obvious choice here mechanically and thematically. +2 to intelligence, and perhaps even more importantly, choosing a safe class to play to protect your lower health pool makes the Technomancer a really good choice. The Envoy is a class that will enjoy your boost to Charisma, and like the Shirin, having the ability to silently communicate with your party while you are negotiating or trying to set up an ambush could be a great trick to have up your sleeve. And the Envoy will absolutely enjoy the Lashunta's student racial trait, really making it a powerhouse on a pair of skills of your choosing. The Mechanic is another fine choice as a class that lines up ability score-wise with the Demaya, and for many of the same reasons as the Technomancer, it's just a top-tier choice. Dex-based Demaya operatives can also make for a viable character, though the bump to Charisma really isn't going to do much for you, so you might feel like it's a bit of a waste on the operative. Switching gears to the Karasha, the Solarian makes a great choice for the Karasha. It hits all the right notes. Bonus to Charisma, bonus to Strength with no major drawbacks. In addition, the Solarian has one of the most varied group of class skills, meaning that their ability mods are pretty spread out. So being able to take the Lashunta's student racial trait and apply it however you like to shore up your character's shortcomings is really, really nice. Soldier might make for another good choice, though depending on your build, you may or may not get a lot of mileage out of the boost to Charisma. And taking a hit to Wisdom, further driving down your already low will saves, might be a bit tough to deal with depending on the situation or whether you have a game master that really likes to attack their PC's weaknesses with their monster selection. Now, most of the other classes are going to do one of two things. Either you'll have to build them as melee builds to make use of the bump to strength, or they will probably let the Karasha's abilities go to waste. Strength and Charisma are two of the least important stats in the game, in my opinion. With most classes having the ability to simply pick up a gun and fire off with their dex bonus, strength just doesn't play as important of a role in Starfinder as it does in Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons. And Charisma's in a similar boat, that it doesn't affect a character's save, and it really only has an impact on a handful of skills, most of which are outside of combat and really situational according to your game master and group's playstyle. So what do you guys think about the Lashunta? Do you like the way that they're set up to share racial traits but to still give you an option on where you want your ability bonuses to go? Let me know what you guys think. Also guys, be sure to check out the video's description for a full guide to all the coverage here for Starfinder Week on the channel. I'm going to be releasing 28 videos over the next 3 weeks, so if you're looking for a place to keep up with everything Starfinder, I've got you covered. If this is your first time here and you love role-playing games as much as I do, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every week I'll be putting out new videos on GM tips, player tips, tutorials, and more. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, just hit that subscribe button down below and come join us. Once again, I want to give a special thank you to my sponsor, Miniature Market, for making these videos possible. And thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cody, and may your games be filled with awesome memories and even better friends. I'll catch you guys next time.